Hey guys, Rob Alden here, IMX Productions, and welcome to a really fun tutorial. I'm going to show you how to make a wedding lightsaber photo. Okay, so as some of you know, I was married last October, and being the geek and Photoshop guru that I am, I had to have some fun with some of the wedding photos. So here's one photo that we came up with. So here's the whole wedding party, myself, my new wife, and our whole wedding party holding awesome lightsabers. And we made a few of these, a few different ones, and I'll show you how we accomplished this. So right off the bat, you can see pretty much this is the photo as is. There was a bit of retouching, but not all that much. And then we added the glows of the lightsabers. So we were already holding a lightsaber blade, lightsaber handles. So I had brought a bunch of props that we had constructed years ago for a short film that we made, a Star Wars parody film. So those came in handy. So we already had awesome handles, one for everyone. And then all we need to do was add the blade, the glow. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the line tool. Okay, now the idea here is that we want to get the thickness of, pretty much the thickness of the blade. So I'm going to, and probably about this long. So we want to gauge about the length of a saber there, and that's pretty good. Okay, now I can go ahead and rasterize that right away because I don't need it to be a vector shape. Then I'm going to go grab the brush tool and just draw in. There we go. And then we're going to do the same at the other end. Now the other end, actually, this comes out. Now if you've seen a few of the Star Wars lightsabers, they don't all do this, but I kind of like it. Episode 1 did this. Is it kind of at the very end? There's a bit of a bulge, like the energy is blasting out of the blade, so it kind of ends like this. Okay. What we're going to do is add a new layer underneath that layer, and we're going to fill that black. Okay, now we can take our shape layer and our black layer, and we're actually going to merge those two together, so that is one layer. Now essentially I like to, like I said, there's many techniques. My technique, I like to have 3 layers of glow. Okay, you have the first layer, which is basically your very thick line of color around the edge. And then you have your second layer, which is your main glow, if you will. So this one will be quite a bit wider, and this will be very colorful, and that'll be your bright color layer. Then your third layer, final layer, will be a very wide, extremely wide glow, but very faint color. Just gives it a hint. And I find I get really good results doing it that way, using the 3 layers. Okay, so first layer. Now you can zoom in a little bit here because we do want to see it pretty well. So first layer, what we want to do is come in here and get a Gaussian blur, and we're going to blur it. Like I said, this is the first layer. We don't want it too much. That looks pretty good. So that's your first kind of faint layer. So about maybe like that, 3. Okay, so first one is good. I like that. Okay, we're going to take the first layer we did with the blur, and then we're going to copy this one, and then we're going to go to a curve. So image adjustment curves is up the curves, so it just makes it wider. Okay, and then we're going to come here to blur again, Gaussian blur. And like I said, this is our second layer, so this one we want to blur out quite a bit. That looks pretty good, I think. And now what we do is we set this one to screen on top of the original. Then we're going to copy this one again, and then we're going to make our third and final layer, which we blurred out even more. And like I said, this is our final faint color, so I want it fairly large because, like I said, it's just this one's just a hint of color. It's not the main color. Okay, now we take these 3 layers, we merge them together, image adjustment, hue and saturation, colorize, and here's where you add your colors. So make this one green, so get the green color, pretty thick. Okay, and all we got to do now is set it to screen, and we've got our saber. Now the reason I made it very, very straight is from here what I want to do is make a very wide selection around. So this will be my selector, otherwise it's really large. I'm going to copy and paste, set it to screen again. And then every time I need to, I don't want to repeat this process again and again and again because I didn't write any numbers down. I don't want to risk not having the same looking lightsaber for each blade. What I do is I simply copy and paste the same one, and then I transform it to match the blade. So from here, I can hit transform, Control Command T, and I'm going to turn it. I'm going to match the look here. Try to match. The hardest part here is matching the direction of the blade. Okay. And the last thing you can do is move it close, put a mask over that, grab a brush, hardness 0, opacity down, and then opacity down, and then just make it. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so first blade down. Now, like I said, all we do, go back to our original, select the original, copy paste, set, and from here what I can do is change my color. So hit colorize again. We're going with a red for this one. Set it to screen. I can increase the size. Again, match the direction of the blade. Set it at the right place. Perfect. Let's do another one. Make this one purple. Now this one's tougher here because the angle is not a straight angle. So what we're going to do, let's set it to screen first so I can see better. Oop, too small. What we want to do, first we're going to set that the proper direction. But then, you see how she's holding the blade angled. So what we want to do is hit distort, and I'm going to distort the blade so it looks to be coming from an angle. And of course you can play with that until you reach that kind of perfect perfect angle. Just like that. And of course we'll add a mask to this one. Like that. Okay, so it's just that simple, guys. So you create that first blade template. Like I said, it's 3 layers. So we do the first layer, we blur it slightly, do the second layer, copy that layer, blur it just a little more, and then copy that layer again and blur it even further, and then we drop the opacity on that one. Merge those 3 layers together, set it to screen, add a hue and saturation, set your color. And of course, if you're making a video montage of your wedding photos, you can then bring this into After Effects and do a really cool reveal using some clever masks and sound effects. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. If you want to see these lightsabers, these same lightsaber props in action, you can click here and watch our film that we did back in 2008. You can also click here to see how I accomplished my zombie wedding photo. That was another one we did. Tutorial's not up yet, but when it is, I will put the annotation right there. Okay, hope you enjoyed, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe, check me out on social media, and check me out on my website, robbaldwin.ca. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later. Cheers.